Hi everyone. So I'm at Body Doc today and we have a very special guest with us at the gym and he's none other than Dr. Hasita Idangadagi. Hi doctor, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a practicing physician in the US. I've been there for the past 15 to 20 years. I have been actively involved in powerlifting and basically being fit.
So what got you into powerlifting? What are the most memorable lifts that you have done over the past few years?
Okay, so initially I went to California from Sri Lanka for higher studies, and over there, when I first left, I was very unhealthy. I had a 44-inch waist, had extremely high blood pressure, and this was at the age of 17 and 18. Went to California. I was very intrigued by the fitness culture there, and also Arnold Schwarzenegger was running for governor. That also motivated me. I lost a lot of weight there by not eating, and then I realized that I have lost my strength as well. Then I got introduced into lifting weights, basically. And for the first few years, I did not know what I was doing with weights. I just did bench press and biceps, and basically got bored of just lifting weights. I wanted to then focus just on building strength, and that's where I kind of got motivated into pursuing powerlifting. My most memorable lift, I think, was when I first deadlifted 500 pounds. It's not my best lift, but it was my most, I think, impressive lift for me because I never thought that I could do it.
Doctor, tell me the difference between physical activity and exercise.
Okay, so physical activity could be anything, from walking, talking, driving, but to me exercise is something that you do specifically for that specific benefit, like coming to the gym and doing cardio or lifting weights. So to me there is a difference between those two.
Doctor, what is powerlifting?
Okay, so powerlifting is one of the disciplines involving weights. You have weightlifting, then you have powerlifting, then you have bodybuilding. Powerlifting basically involves three movements. One is the squat, the other one is the deadlift, and the third one is the bench press. You try to do the maximum amount of weight on each of those lifts.
So before interviewing you, I did a little research about powerlifting, and I figured that there are two types of powerlifting. That is equipped powerlifting and pure powerlifting. If you can just give me a definition of exactly what it actually means.
Yeah, so it can get complicated depending on which country you're lifting and which federation is involved. But to make it simple, raw powerlifting is basically lifting with just a belt and knee straps. But from what I'm aware of, raw powerlifting, the belt is allowed no matter where you go. And the type of knee gear that you use depends on the federations. When it comes to equipped powerlifting, you use more gear. Gear as in what you call the singlets, more compressive suits, and hence the lifts, when it comes to equipped lifts, the number of poundages that they lift is much higher.
Dr. Rick, tell me, when it comes to powerlifting, what is your opinion on nutrition?
There is no specific nutrition for powerlifting per se. Basically, you're trying to lift the maximum amount of weight, and powerlifters are not the best looking lifters. So, essentially, trying to keep up your strength by taking adequate calories through the protein, primarily protein and carbohydrates. That's really it.
Doctor, tell me, what are the main fitness components involved in powerlifting?
So as I mentioned, powerlifting involves basically three lifts: the squat, deadlift, and the bench press. These are very complex, but functional movements, and this is where it helps you build a balanced body, and also avoid by building strength through these multi-joint movements. You tend to decrease the chance of injury and build a balanced body.
How does powerlifting help you in your day-to-day activities?
So I believe that, because these are very functional movements, the deadlift, the squat, and the bench press, and trying to develop muscle and strength through those can be transferred to day-to-day life. For example, if you're going to pick up something from the floor, a lot of people do it incorrectly by bending their back, as opposed to using your legs and using your core strength. All these basically help you avoid the risk of injury. So again, by using these movements, you develop core strength, you develop better balanced body.
So if I ask you this, powerlifters are strong but fat. What are your comments on that?
You're right to a degree. Powerlifters back in the day, they used to be much fatter, if you would say, but they still carry a lot of muscle mass underneath, because the amount of weight that you move is also dependent on your body mass. So, but over the past decade or so, past couple of decades, I think powerlifters have become more leaner while carrying the same amount of weight. And in this case, I don't think fat means unhealthy for them, because they're still very fit. They do a lot of conditioning work. So it's the nature of the sport, but now you see more and more lean and powerlifters who actually transition into bodybuilding too.
So is there a possibility of incorporating powerlifting into losing weight?
Certainly, it's definitely a possibility, and I mean, it's basically incorporating those three movements into your workout, and those compound movements actually help you lose fat. Now, you losing weight or you losing fat is primarily dependent on your diet.
Doctor, are deadlifts actually bad for your back, or is it just a myth?
Any exercise that you perform incorrectly can give you a risk of an injury. I mean, the deadlift again is a very complex lift, and it's hip dominant, but it also involves a lot of the lower back, and if done incorrectly, it certainly can involve a high risk of injury. But if it is done correctly with a flat back, then it should not cause you an injury.
Doctor, is there anything that we can do to prevent injuries, and also maybe to rehab?
Yeah, I think the first thing is adequate warming up, using the right tools to warm up, and also basically performing your exercises with good technique. And for me, I think to overall kind of prevent injuries, building good core strength and a balanced body. That's what I have gained.
So tell me, what are the side effects of PEDs?
That list is quite long. I will mention some of the most common ones, especially on the long run. So you can have testicular dysfunction, infertility, erectile dysfunction, hair loss, acne, gynecomastia. Especially if you combine it with other drugs like growth hormones, you would have organomegaly, basically enlargement of all the internal organs in your body, including the heart, liver, kidneys. Eventually, over the long run, will lead you to failure of those organs. Then you could have a lot of mental side effects like depression, psychosis, addiction, abuse potential. And I'm not mentioning a lot of the minor side effects as well, but you can read it up anywhere online and do some more research, but it's a whole big list.
As a doctor and as a powerlifter, what is the message you have for the youngsters who are keen in becoming big and strong?
That's a good question. Initially, when I started off, I had no idea what I was doing until I was guided by some friends, and later I educated myself more and more by reading. So I think a lot of youngsters I have seen in many gyms don't know what they're doing, and they lift with poor technique. I think the message that I would give to people starting out is seek help, learn from someone who's experienced and who knows about lifting, because that's going to save you a lot of time and also decrease your chance of injuries. And also read up by yourself and do research, because there's a lot of material online. Find a trusted source and keep reading, keep yourself engaged, be enthusiastic and motivated.
Being a doctor and also a medical student, how did you manage time to come a long way?
So it's, I think, keeping your priorities. Medical school was not bad. My priority was still working out and being fit. And same in when I was doing my residency and training, and now I'm as a practicing physician. But I think the toughest stage is when you get married and then have children. Managing time becomes extremely difficult, but I still try to set aside maybe a couple of days out of the week. But at least, reading up, keeping yourself motivated, doing some exercise even at home with your body weight, that'll keep you motivated.
Finally, doctor, you can tell me what are the pros and cons of machines and free weights?
So I think both can be used very effectively for certain specific goals. We know that free weights, if you use free weights and if you do with proper technique, it's probably the best when it comes to developing overall mass and strength, primarily for strength. Now, the machines can be used for specifically isolating certain body parts, and that is why bodybuilders primarily use more machine-based exercises. So again, for two specific purposes, but I think can be used accordingly.
So thank you, doctor. Thank you for spending time with us here today to teach us about powerlifting and to educate us. I personally learned a lot. And before ending today's program, do you have a message for our audience?
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. So I would basically say, for everyone, stay strong, be strong, keep yourself busy, motivated, and continue to be active.